Yeah, man. So we are back at it with the wave, man. We didn't really get a chance to touch on the album.
No.
Damn, Kendrick Lamar, man.
Hey.
And I feel like, to just be honest with y'all, I feel like it's just not one of those albums or one of those artists where you could just break down their music within like a weekend or within a day or two. And then I just feel like it's not realistic.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying? It's not realistic. You could just say, okay, I like this track and I like this, but when you really have MC, artist, you know what I'm saying? It's more to the music than, okay, I went in the studio and I just made a couple songs. It's like, what's my favorite? No, it's just like, yo, they all connect with each other. And sometimes with Kendrick, a song that he did on this album might be connected to a song he did on his last album.
It's that deep.
So, but you know, the main thing right now is that he did an interview
With Zane Lowe.
He did an interview with Zane Lowe, and it was really interesting because, you know, one thing I appreciate, I love those classic interviews. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got those, like, it made me think about that interview with Pac in jail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You seen him, he had the, you know what I'm saying? You finally see hair on his head. You know what I'm saying? And it's
the picture of the boys in the background.
Yeah, like,
stressed.
you know, and it just, I like those type of interviews, those type of like a Tax Tone and Meek Mill type, the timeless joints, right? You know what I'm saying?
And speaking of Pac, that's a lot. That's what I got from the interview. You know, he mentioned Pac a few times. You know, and one of the biggest things that I caught is that he just uses Pac as, he say, the golden standard. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's his level that he wants to reach. He mentioned, like, as far as like reaching people directly, as far as empathy and just, you know, speaking about what's true in today's world. And I feel like he holds true to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just get that, even without him saying that, you just get that Pac vibe. You know what I'm saying? Pac vibe is, you know what I'm saying, he's timeless. Like, people probably 100 years from now, if somebody's going to mention Tupac or know who Tupac is, in the same right as that they're going to know who Kendrick Lamar is.
Yeah, and I think that falls under the classification of impact. You know, we had a video we just got done doing, and I said I didn't really want to get too into it because it was going to transfer over to this video. But I think the impact, you know, that's one of the major things that Kendrick was talking about. And, you know, somebody like Tupac, his impact created a legacy. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's one of the things that I respect. You listen to Tupac's music, you can tell exactly what he was going through. And I feel like that's one of the things that makes a great MC. When you can listen to that music and it just reminds you of this time period. You don't got to make 100 albums. This one that you make right here, it represents that time. And I feel like, you know, I always jump back to this, but I just feel like that's why it bothers me that people don't appreciate To Pimp a Butterfly the way that they should, because it's like when you look back at 2014 or 2015, the time, you know what I'm saying, just around that time frame where the Mike Browns was getting gunned down, Trayvon Martin's, and, you know, just things, you know, things to that nature. You don't really have artists, you know, rappers perhaps, you know what I'm saying, in big name artists and rappers. Well, I'm not gonna say artists, you know what I'm saying, but big name rappers that's making music about it. But when you go back, you hear The Pimp a Butterfly, like when my son turns, you know what I'm saying, 15 or 16, and he listens to Pimp a Butterfly, it's gonna put him in a trance, and you're gonna be like, damn, Pops, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I just went through, you know, like just like the whole, like the segregation period. I felt like I had been through something after listening to this. And I don't just feel like I'm turning up, you know. And I think that's what he did with that album. And I feel like that's what makes you a great artist. Right. That's what makes you a great MC.
When you can encapsulate the time period.
And that's kind of like that's actually the wave.
Yeah, encapsulating the time period.
But he touched on a couple of things within this interview. He was just saying how pretty much like what you were saying, like him kind of that comparison to Pac. And I think that was one of the most interesting things that I got from the interview, because he talks about that time and time again.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? He talked about it from Good Kid, Mad City days up until now.
But it's to the point where, like, if you're a West Coast artist, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how can you not? Like, Pac is gonna be your standard. Just like if you're an East Coast rapper, Biggie is your guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's just hard not to. You can't overlook Pac in no form of fashion, because really Kendrick he's really kind of put in the same position as Pac was at this stage of the game. But I feel like in Pac's, you know what I'm saying, his realm, like, people were rapping, but it wasn't so. I don't even want to call Kendrick Lamar his peers competition, because they really not.
They not.
But you get what I mean? Like, rap wasn't so oversaturated as it was, you know, like as it is now. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It was that many people didn't even have access to be able to record. Like,
exactly.
This shit is just really oversaturated. Anybody, my nigga, we can go get a Guitar Hero mic, plug it up to the computer,
make something happen.
and we can go make something happen right now. Get it bracking. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Kendrick Lamar he got a few more obstacles he needs to step through, so it's not as a clear light as it was with Pac.
And you know what too? Another thing, not to jump subjects, but just something that's on my mind right now. Another thing that I found interesting is that, you know, and I don't realize this with pretty much all of Kendrick's projects, is that he was saying in the interview that these is one of them joints that even like years down the line, you're gonna be listening to it and you're gonna be like, damn, I didn't realize he was talking about that. Oh, this is what he meant. Like, even just discussing the intro, he was saying like, yo, I can't really get too in depth with it because, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to give it away to y'all. But it's just, and I feel like my perception of the intro was like rebirth. You know what I'm saying? I think that's one of the things that he confirmed.
It's like almost like you're killing your old self.
Exactly.
Becoming resurrected as someone totally different, or someone that's better than your old self.
Yeah, and Zane Lowe, he said something really interesting, man. It just kind of like got my mind going. He said, was this the end of the beginning, or was this the beginning of the end? And that just, it's like, it's so simple, but that's so deep. And the fact Kendrick said, I can't even tell you. I can't say you gotta listen to it. I feel like I think that's music. That's music when you really like, it ain't like, yo, okay man, I got this album I'm dropping, and you know what I'm saying, I'm talking about this, and you know what I'm saying, granted, like, that's dope.
Music should be ambiguous, meaning like it's up for interpretation. Like, you can just, like, you could be like, damn, that line was about this, and then somebody else could be like, nah bro, I think it was about this, and y'all both can agree like, damn, right, that's kind of, you know what I'm saying? Right, damn, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So hey, I mean, the title says it alone, just like you say, damn.
I think he got a track on there where he was pretty much saying, kind of interpreting how, you know, Top Dawg and his dad.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? They was banging back in the day.
Yeah, man. And I think, you know, from what I heard, I think Kendrick's day used to work at like a KFC.
Right, and then he ended up, it was something went down. Yeah, it went down or something at the spot. You know what I'm saying? They was gonna kill his pops or some shit like that. And basically Kendrick's dad, you know what I'm saying, just started looking out every time they came through, whether it was free food, free biscuits, whatever. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I mean, damn, I was kind of looking at that like, damn, that's some history, but his daddy got sunned a little bit.
That's kind of extortion. Yeah, right. That's kind of extortion, low key.
And then now, you know what I'm saying, even deeper, his son is the slave for the company. I mean, you know what I'm saying, I ain't gonna get too deep, but I mean, technically, you know what I'm saying? So really, Top Dawg been Top Dawg in their family life longer than they can remember. You know what I'm saying? I'm just laying it on.
That's some
I'm just saying.
That's some stuff that should have been talked about on 420.
Niggas would have been.
If I had a blunt, bro, this would have been there.
Hey, you know the meme where the dude got the zipped up hoodie, like,
bro, hey, this would have for sure been a moment from The Wire, dog. Like,
we found out he shot the cop.
Yeah, it would have definitely been one of the moments. But you know what I'm saying, to jump over to the album. Mm-hmm. To the album, man. You know, we didn't have some time to listen to it. It's been like I want to say like 2 days over a week now. And like what is it? Because we never gave you guys like our thoughts on it, man. So this is the time, and we're gonna try to do it as quick as possible. Like when it comes to like my favorite tracks on this album, man, the first thing that comes to mind is Feel. You know what I'm saying? You know, just like, seem like all of this week, I just been like, that's been like my theme song. I just been listening to Phil, man. Granted, like I've been kind of dealing with a lot this week, but it's just like, it seemed like for me, Kendrick always dropped that track that I need, just like right on time. Like when he dropped I Love Myself. Like the reason it meant so much to me is because I was dealing with something, and I needed to feel like, yo, man, I ain't worried about that, man. I love myself. I got me. You know what I'm saying? And you know exactly, and you know, and that's what made me feel better. But this track it do something to me, man. I tell you, I just been listening to it nonstop, and it's weird to explain, but for some, when I got a Kendrick song that I really like, I get attached to it, but I don't get too attached to it to the point where it's just like I remember like everything word for word.
No, it's just like you just want to hear it.
And I want it to be like the first time hearing it every time. But it's like the Heart Part 3. Like it took me so long to remember the words to that because I loved it so much. I wanted it to be like the first time for me. I probably heard the Heart Part 3 more than any other song I've ever heard in my life. Period, bro. And like probably by like the 250th time I heard it, it was like, okay, I'm holding on to these lyrics.
Yeah,
okay,
I think I know them.
But yeah, man, that track. What other ones did I really like?
Is Phil the track that you feel like in 10 years you're just gonna listen to it?
I think I'm always gonna love Phil, but I think I'm always gonna love it because it kind of puts you in that trance where it's like it makes your mind like kind of just like, I don't know if this is the proper way to explain it, but it soothes my mind. And you know, and I don't know, man, not a lot of tracks do that for me.
And
man.
that's how I feel about Sing About You.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. It's like you can just see the words, you ain't worried about shit. It's like it's just you in that song for that 4.5 minutes or whatever.
But you know what, I think he just painted the picture so vividly, just like you close your eyes and just envision everything he's saying. It's kind of like that for me with Nas' Project Windows. I can just close my eyes and he made me feel like a kid up in my project building looking out my window. You know what I'm saying? And but all in all, man, like I definitely think it's a great album. It's phenomenal. But could I sit here right now and give you guys a full analysis of it? No, I couldn't. And this is just me being 100%. You know, this is just me being real with y'all. I couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And if I did, it wouldn't be real. It wouldn't be to the best of my ability because he's just not one of those artists where you could just sit down and just break down everything that he's saying within a week. You know what I'm saying? Granted, you know, so he just dropped DNA, which you know what I'm saying, which I think was also great. Like he always just got something good in there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just different. But I think by the time he drops another video for one of his singles, because it's a couple tracks on there that people are really feeling. But by the time he does that, I think if people still want it, you know what I'm saying? If it's still, you know, relevant enough, we could really sit down and we can like really break the album down and really give y'all like, yo, this meant this. This is my interpretation.
I just don't feel like we got all the pieces yet.
No, and it's hard to do it without it, man. And you know, and I feel like it's a gift and a curse. It's a good thing and a bad thing. It's good that you know that you could really just sit down for that long. Like a year from now, I'm just still gonna be sitting down breaking down pieces of the album. But bad thing is that it actually might be a track on there that it might take me a year. I might be like in my 40s, like, yo, this is what he meant.
Like, you also gotta brush up on the shit that came before. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's some of the things you may have missed in that. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta connect the dots, and it's gonna come to you randomly. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even gonna be trying. You're gonna be you're gonna play one song from To Pimp a Butterfly, then something might shuffle to Damn. You be like, whoa, hold on, hold on.
But y'all do me this favor, right? Y'all do me this favor. Do me this one side of favor. Go down in that comment box and let us know what y'all think, man. If we missed out on something, if there's some pieces within the album that you guys caught on that y'all can put us into, man, let us know, man. Give us some new information. Teach us something.
And let us know, you know what I'm saying? Do y'all want to see a Kendrick, album review? Because I know right now,
I know it's just like 100 of them. It's like a million of them out right now. Man,
YouTube is saturated. All you gotta do is type in "damn review" and you're gonna be like, there ain't no way that they really listen to this damn album.
Exactly, man. And that's how I feel about it. But like, comment, share, subscribe. The Wave.